I've interacted with customers and heard the stories through the generations, but we've never really got the opportunity to dig deep and tell the untold stories about this legacy sub-brand.
Well, there was a multiple car approach here because the first generation is CTS-V, XLR-V, STS-V.
How did V-Series come to be?
Several people said there's no way a small block could be as refined as what is being put into the foreign competition. And we said we disagree.
What was the biggest hurdle bringing the first V-Series ever into production?
We were trying to do it really fast. I think it was about 18 months from the time we said go until the time we were ready to roll into production.
Why was racing the car before it entered production so important to us?
Setting the expectation, what is V-Series? From day one, the integration of the vehicle to be sophisticated and how it handles, brakes in a turn. How does it perform and set itself apart when you have that kind of power?
If you were going to compete with the Germans, you had to go to Germany. You have to go to driver's school and get certified to be a driver on the Nürburgring. So all of the drivers that went over there for school were level 3 drivers, the best that General Motors could do. I have that license mounted in a frame and in a real obvious spot in my home. I'm very proud of it.
We developed the base CTS at the Nürburgring, and when we first started, the engines weren't ready and everything, and so we would be on the Nürburgring with maybe 160 horsepower. There's a section of the Nürburgring when you climb up out of Bergwerks, it's uphill all the way. It's in a 160 horsepower car. You can check your watch, check the gauges and all that stuff, and then even when you jump forward and add 100 horsepower for the CTS-V, that is no longer a relaxed part of the track.
Do you have a favorite memory or story from the development of V-Series?
There was one that was really funny. We're going to have the new CTS-V out at Milford, and we want you to do a tank of gas. Go out there and run in it, and I hear something go boom, and then all of a sudden it lost power, right? And so we threw a rod in it and blew it to smithereens, right? So I'm walking back on the track with a radio in the woods. Like I said, you need to come get me with my helmet in my hand.
I remember seeing Chuck Tomlinson at his desk had this set up to try to get a transfer pump to work in the STS-V and pump fuel from one side to the next and all these buckets, and looked like a mad scientist on his desk trying to figure that out because the North Star required so much more fuel. Those requirements now of how to pick up fuel are just standard for, we don't have any problems, Now, the bimodality of having to be a luxury car and a performance car, that is one of the hallmarks of V-Series DNA that we've carried through each generation.
Us all just working on it together, that was awesome. To me, one of the highlights of my career.
A lot of the people that were here in the beginning are still here, driving the same DNA and taking it to the next level every time. Brandon, you played a huge role in that.
Cheers to another 20 years.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good.